Hi, I am Erwan Moton, Magic Creative Director at Ubisoft.
Hi, I'm Julien Pierrot. I'm the lead designer and writer on the Adventure Pack, Pirates of the Savage Sea. You might know me as Marzi, also in the communities.
Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm a producer on Hero 6 and more specifically on the Pirates of the Savage Sea Adventure Pack. You know me on the forum as Alexis_Ubisoft, which is very original.
Hi, I'm Stefan Winter, Managing Director at Limbic Entertainment. We are currently working on the Adventure Pack and the ongoing support on Hero 6.
Hello, I'm Gary Polini. I'm the producer of Might and Magic titles developed by external companies. Maybe you know me on the forums as Bud.
Hi, I'm Pascaline Lavdrine. I'm an associate producer assistant on Clash of Heroes.
So I'll start with the two top ones, which are the biggies. And just ask you, when are you guys going to understand that making the game always online is a sure way to piss off your customers?
Before that, we're always making just offline games. We're just putting that on the disc, and that was it. Now we're trying, and now there were a lot of efforts to do that for Hero 6. Of course, maybe it's not completely fully developed in the way we wanted to make. I think Erwan maybe has some example on that, but the idea is like we would like that user connect online to the game, but we would like at some time reward them for that. So I know that the current implementation there were some shortcomings that just make that we ask you to be online, but maybe we didn't put enough reward for that for you. And that's why, so for example, we will introduce the offline online compatibility with the next patch, because we know, of course right now being online can be cumbersome for some, so we want to address that.
The original vision was really to say the classic Heroes experience can be played offline, which was, at the time when we were discussing it, something that Ubisoft was not promoting. Constant internet connection was something that was required from the games, including the PC games. But we were, the team at that time, fighting to have an offline experience that was similar to Heroes 5, Heroes 3, etc. The added layers that we felt were interesting online rewards were mostly centered around the Dynasty principle and the conflicts. So for us, it's two different things. Dynasty is really the persistent reward you get by playing heroes over and over again. So you get the weapons, you get the unlock the heroes that you can play in multiplayer, you get the traits. Those things are added to the Heroes experience. They were not part of any previous Heroes game. So we felt it was something cool to give to the players who would be connected. And the incentive would be that those rewards would be interesting in multiplayer. So we said multiplayer, online, connection, it's a natural fit, so it works well together. The other thing we wanted was the conflicts, which was basically a list of services for the community. Tools to chat and exchange, share maps, have leaderboards to measure your rankings in multiplayer, facilitate matchmaking for multiplayer. That was the part of the conflict that we said is naturally online as well. That's where we feel we have a lot of shortcomings. The quality of online service that Ubisoft has provided for the game since its release is not at the level of the expectations we had when we were working on the game and on these designs. And they were not counting the failures to register online or to simply launch the game, etc. But even the quality of putting the players together and helping them compare their scores or play in multiplayer, it's not yet to the level of what we wish it would be for a game like Heroes. So for us, it's still an important dimension, this online dimension. We want to keep it for the future Heroes games. The thing that is positive is that Ubisoft as a whole, as a company, is learning how to do online services better. Each new game makes it easier for the guys who are working on it. So for instance, the games we've shown today, Duel of Champions and others, the ones I cannot speak about, they will be definitively online, but they will have dedicated teams to support them. So hopefully there will be good online experiences. For the future of Heroes, we hope that in a couple of months from now, online will be great, working all the time, and a lot of services attached to it.
By releasing the game fully balanced, a lot of bugs, and having a very slow patching after the release, do you guys understand how angry that makes your fans and that you have some work to improve your image?
We understood that the game was released, let's say, in an unfinished and unpolished state for a lot of area. So right now, we had this transition between Blackwell and Limbic. So obviously it took time because Limbic had to take over all the code and assets and to learn how to make the game basically. While we won't, let's say, completely reinvent Heroes 6 and fix some, like the one we talk about, this one, like for example the skill trees, because that means basically you have to redesign a large part of the game. Now we are more, let's say, focused, try to at least, put, patch where it's needed. Like there is a wall, we need to put some polish, to fix some stuff. And yes, we understood that the community was very in grip of some part of them. We still feel like the game has some potential, and we could try at least to exploit it to its fullest, even if the game is not perfect, and it will never be perfect. But it would be interesting to make sure that all the work we have done so far, and it took time in order to put the engine on. I think now we're starting to get on the step where we know we can start to improve the stuff that needs to be improved. Not redesigning the game, but at least improve some parts, like for example balancing, already getting some bugs, or fixing, or at least improving the marketing.
No single game developer would tell you I'm happy to release a game that is bugged, unbalanced, and poorly finished, not enough polish. In the end of the development of Heroes 6, the budget has really inflated a lot, and there were hard decisions to be made on Black Hole side and on Ubisoft side, with a closer producer affected to the project. Closer producer is someone who tries to release the game in as good a state as possible given the means, so the time and the budget, and he worked very closely with Black Hole. Those of you who played the beta were there in the first ranks, the first rows to see what was going on. They really did their best to work on balance and polish and debug. In the end, the game was released in a state that I think nobody can say was 100% satisfying. But it has, and support was not as fast and good as expected, just because we had this issue with Black Hole of continuing the support and working on further extensions. As we could not reach an agreement with them in terms of scope, budget, and collaboration, we relied on Limbic, who was already working on the game, on the multiplayer feature and the online features. So yes, it took time. It's why today it's a good day for us, this Might Magic Day, because it's really when we can announce this big patch, 1.5, with a lot of things that we really wanted to launch 1 month after the release, like the town screens, the rebalance of the game, the offline online saves, etc. And it's their work which made it possible. And it's also the first time we can announce additional content. It would have been stupid for us to work on additional content before the game was at least slightly spread out or rebalanced.
Are they coming back with the DLC and some stuff around that?
So that's one thing. I think today we feel a little bit more confident saying, yeah, we're working on that. But from day one we realized it was very important, and the community was justly, rightly pissed off. The last thing I want to say is that we have one guy dedicated to working on the balance of the game with whatever tools he has available. He's in direct contact with the guys from the VIP forum. He's watching the regular forums as well. He's working with Limbic on that. So he's really taking all kind of feedback into account, and he's trying to adjust numbers basically to try to rebalance the game. Again, without touching the fundamentals like the skill system or the hard code, but at least he's doing an important work.
The list actually on the topics we would like to improve is long. The backlog, some of the backlog topics contain hundreds of things we would like to do. The good news for everyone is there is a backlog and there is a clear picture of topics, issues, features we want to address. Probably the bad news is it's first probably not going to happen all of it, and it will take some time. Nonetheless, currently we are in a mode, I hope everyone noticed, and we are really trying hard to achieve it and keep it up that way, that we are in iterations of 4 to 6 weeks provide Ubisoft with new patches, basically new versions, and we're taking step by step. We've made progress, we've made good progress. Even some stuff is getting easier now for us, which is actually nice. So in the future, hopefully we can even speed up a little. And actually, probably end of July, we are going to sit down with Ubisoft, we are going to sit down with some of the VIP guys and figure out what else could we put some priority on. just some buzzwords. Map editor obviously is one of the big buzzwords here. Something we want to improve, community wants to have it improved, Ubisoft wants it to have it improved, so this is pretty much in common. This is what is going on right now, and yes, the backlog is very, very long.
Now we're going to get to some of the forum dwellers and what they would like to ask you. And the first question is from Kingy. Do you now realize how badly you have turned off the majority of the long-term Heroes fans by changing an exorbitant amount for this, by charging an exorbitant amount for this DLC, when you're having proven that you can probably fix the broken game first?
We really wanted to wait until we had done some support, patching, and free new features before we propose to the community additional content that they should pay for. So that's why we have this 1.5 patch with the town screen, with balance, with the offline online saves. All the multiplayer maps that will be in the adventure pack will be given for free to the community, and they will, if they want to create some maps or do some multiplayer maps, all the assets will be, of course, in these multiplayer maps. So first, yeah, we fixing the game is really top #1 priority before we start selling new content. That being said, 10 euros for an adventure pack feels a lot. In terms of industry standard, for the number of hours in gameplay that are concerned, it's the average. So it's a reasonable price, but it's also the first time we do that for a Heroes game. This is the first time we sell something like this adventure pack, so it'll be a bit of an experiment for Ubisoft as a whole. So our business teams are confident that this price is reasonable. Then they will try out the temperature of the water. And as we discussed also in Poland during the same fan day that we're having here in Paris, it is important to know that there is what we call the silent community in Heroes. A lot of people are buying the game, but they're not active on the forums, on the Facebook page, on the community sites, etc. So we have some knowledge about them, but they're really like the silent mass, and it's highly possible that some people will buy this expansion pack for 10 euros and love it. Maybe a lot of people will do it, and so Ubisoft will be happy. And then people who feel like it's really outrageous and too expensive, well, the usual life cycle of any kind of product related to the video game is that after a while the prices drop, so they should just be a little bit more patient.
How about giving us the DLC for free, especially for the people who buy the game before release?
Currently we have a group of approximately 15 people working both on supporting the game and creating the adventure pack content. So I think from our perspective, from our team perspective, for instance, we have quite some Heroes fans in the team. It's a great move that the town screens are going in with the patches. It's a great move that ongoingly something is going to happen, and we can understand that on the other side there needs to be content created that needs to be sold to prove actually that we can even go further with the project. So to answer this question on top is, I really believe you get a nice, fun and gameplay experience value out of this. And I just hope you give it a chance. You try the adventure pack. Yes, then we can discuss, is there something we need to improve whatsoever, but give it a chance. I think that is important to say.
And one thing that needs to be added is that the patch 1.5 actually includes the new multiplayer maps for free. So basically the adventure pack that you paid for is the new heroes, the new story, this kind of stuff, but the multiplayer maps will be added for everyone, even those who don't buy the adventure pack at all. So,
Are you guys planning to simplify the map editor?
something, when we were working on Hero 6, I actually had already this big list of stuff to be improved in the map editor. And unfortunately, because, as Aaron was saying earlier, the end of the development was what it was. The improvements to the map editor had to be put aside in favor of, finishing the game. So, fortunately, this list has now been passed to Limbic, and it's now part of their backlog. So, Stefan can help.
I think one thing to know about the map editor is important to have it in mind. The map editor is a very, very powerful tool, even as it is of now. It contains basically everything you need for content creation, or really for content creation. So it's a mighty, mighty tool. The main issue or the challenge right now is that we see a huge gap between those people who are willing to spend really a lot of their spare time in creating maps, and then they suffer all the little things that are not working as they would like them to work. And on the other hand, we have people that might want to try out a map editor and obviously get kind of frustrated quite easily. So what we will do first is, or hopefully will do first is, we address issues and improvements from the people that are already investing and spending time. So we have to support the fans that dedicate time, dedicate effort, and they're really into it. And yes, map editor will be one of the topics in the next 2 months. If you're using editors, if you're used to editors, you have some expectations how editors should work. So I'm not talking about...
Pleasing?
Pardon?
Pleasing? Will be rewarding and pleasing?
I think rewarding, pleasing, and you are creating something creative.
Yeah, but you said pleasing then?
Yeah, pleasing is okay.
Yeah.
Because fun sounds so like, hey,
Yeah. Okay. Are we ever going to get the free DLC with the Academy faction that Black Hole promised back during the beta?
Well, actually, I did not know Black Hole had promised a free DLC with the Academy faction. This is new for me. But I know there is a...
We don't accept the premise of the question?
Well, I really have no recollection of that, so it seems
We
new.
don't remember
But I
this.
know that when the game was launched, there has been basically miscommunication, because we are doing this event in France with the basically closer producer of Hero 6 being asked by a French fan what was the plans for the future, would we be adding new faction, and he said, and basically his answer in French was this: we'd like to add 2 factions, maybe in DLC. That was it. And like the evening, that French fan posted everywhere on all the English forums, they have promised 2 factions in a free DLC, which was not exactly what was said. So, and now, as you all know, many things have happened since then, with Black Hole notably. So, I guess the plans we had back then have been a bit changed.
There used to be, when you clicked on a destination point for a hero to travel, you don't know how many turns it will take to get there. Is it plans to get that feature back?
It's very nice to get the same question in 2 days in 2 locations, so it seems an important one. I don't know yet, but I can promise that we take back the question to the team, ask the team about this, and let you know feedback on this.